What is project human resource management? It is the process that organizes, manages, and lead the project team. So the project team is comprised of people with assigned roles and responsibilities for completing the project. So you have to organize, you have to manage. Essentially, you are the leader and you are looked forward to. So there will be some organizational behavior related theories that we'll cover in this topic also, like Maslow's hierarchy and hygiene theory and contingency theory. We'll see, few organizational behavior related theories, which will help us in organizing and managing the resources. The human resource management plan will contain this organizational chart, hierarchical structure. You have project manager here, maybe architect, maybe team lead for testing, team lead for development, and so on. Developers, testing team members, team of architects, and so on. And rest of the this is the project organization chart. Then responsibility chart or matrix, responsibility assignment matrix. Let's say person X, person Y, person Z. What is their responsibility? What is their assignment? So you can use this responsibility chart matrix, or you can also use role description. We also call it as job description, in which what is the role, tester, developer, and so on. What is the responsibility, testing, developing, and essentially you will what kind of knowledge they need to know in case of development and testing. You will ask what kind of authority they will get to expend the resources from the organization. So that will be the part of your human resource management plan. The first one is observation and conversation. I think in this, essentially, we can use this to stay in touch with the work and attitudes of project team members. The project management team monitors progress towards project deliverables and accomplishments that are source of pride for team members and interpersonal issues. So that's what we can do using observation and conversation. Coming to project performance appraisal. So this is essentially during the course of project, we can include clarification of roles and responsibilities, constructive feedback to team members, discovery of unknown or unresolved issues. So these are the kind of activities we conduct in your performance appraisals. So even development of individual training plans and the establishment of specific goals for future time periods can be done in project performance appraisals. Then conflict management. So conflict is inevitable. It's going to happen when multiple people are working together, team members are working together. So it may include scarce resources, scheduling priorities, and personal work styles. So team ground rules, group norms, and solid project management practices like communication planning, etc., will reduce the amount of conflict, but nevertheless they will happen. So when they happen, successful conflict management result in greater positivity, productivity, and essentially it produces positive working relationship. So project team members are initially, so if any differences occur or any conflict occur, usually project team members are supposed to take responsibility for the resolution of the issue that is occurring. But if conflict escalates, then project manager should facilitate the satisfactory resolution. So conflict should be addressed as early as possible, and usually in private using direct collaborative approach. So if disruptive conflict continues, formal procedures may be used, including disciplinary action. Okay. So, so factors that influence conflict resolution, which kind of method we are going to use? You are saying the techniques, right, withdrawing, and so they depend on relative importance and intensity of conflict, time pressure for resolving the conflict, a position taken by the persons involved, motivation to resolve conflict on long-term or short-term basis. So the first one is withdrawing or avoiding. So in here, retreating from an actual or potential conflict situation, basically you backtrack and postponing the issue, keep it on back burner, basically the issue to be better prepared or to be resolved by others. So withdraw or avoid can be done in case the issue is not relatively important and intensity of conflict is not very high. I will smooth and accommodate. This is emphasizing the areas of agreement rather than areas of differences. In here we maintain harmony and relationship. So that's what we do in accommodating or smoothing. Compromising, in here searching for a solution that brings some degree of satisfaction to all parties in order to temporarily or partially resolve it. So you don't resolve it completely, but partially you do resolve it. Then forcing or directing, this is pushing one's viewpoint at the expense of others, offering only win-lose situation, usually enforced through a power position to resolve an emergency. So usually this is not a good technique, but at times based on, as I was telling, based on time pressure for resolving the conflict is very high, issue is very important, then in that case you may have to use this technique. So pushing one's viewpoint at the expense of the others happens. So it is win-lose situation. The last one is control or problem solve or collaborating. This is incorporating multiple viewpoints and insight from different perspectives. So essentially in here multiple stakeholders may come in and let's say two people are in conflict, they can show cooperative attitude, open dialogue, and this typically leads to consensus and commitment. This is long-term solve. I'll show you some slide for this, which so these are the conflict management. This shows how the combination of assertiveness and cooperative behaviors, they interrelate with each other. So non-assertive and non-cooperative, you will go for avoidance. Then assertive and non-cooperative. So this is type of team members. So the team member who are non-assertive as well as they are not cooperative, in that case you may go for avoidance. Then assertive and non-cooperative, they may go, you may go, or they themselves may go for competition. In that case you may use forcing. So this is as I told earlier, win-lose situation, one person wins over the other. Compromise is give and take essentially. So it is essentially between assertive and non-assertive, middle of that, especially cooperation also. It is between non-cooperation and cooperate. This is less cooperative and this is fully cooperative, less assertive and assertive. So that is the axis it is shown. Then non-assertive and cooperative, you will go for accommodation, smoothing, essentially area of agreement rather than areas of differences. You see what is common ground and you go ahead. So the best one is collaboration or problem solving. So in here, essentially you are taking each other's view. Only point in here is when you take the problem solving or collaboration approach, the time taken to resolve the issue, I'm sorry, time taken to resolve issue may be more, but Advantage is once the problem is solved, it will solve a lot of other problems. So at times when you have time, this is worth considering, and this is long-term solution. So facing a problem head on. So these are the kind of conflict management models that we use uh, while handling the conflict management within the team. Then you have something called issue log. So this is just a log of issues between the various stakeholders, usually team members, and there will be at least one accountable person, responsible person to resolve this issue. There will be time frame given and so on. So that will be used. So issue log in conjunction with conflict management will be used towards resolving the issues while managing the project team. And interpersonal skills, soft skills are very useful. They include leadership, influencing, and effective decision making, etc. So this brings us, this completes all the four processes. And as I told you earlier, we'll now see the organizational behavior theories that helps us in determining what kind of attitudes people have, why they have those attitudes, what kind of things that motivates them versus what kind of environment demotivates them. That's what talks about the organizational behavior theories. So managed project team output we already saw, enterprise environmental factor, OP updates, change request as appropriate. And so coming to organizational theories, we'll see Herzberg theory of motivation. So essentially, this is all about understanding the human being in perspective and understanding where they stand and categorizing them. And based on that categorization, you can use various technique of motivation to propel them forward or essentially motivate them towards participating positively in project activities and essentially bring the project performance to the ultimate or highest possible level. So there is something Herzberg is essentially organizational behavior related scientist, and he has a theory of motivation. He says there are two agents, hygiene agents and motivating agents. So hygiene agents are with respect to having proper cubicles. So it is basic things being in place, getting salaries on time, and those constitute having a good environment and so on. So those constitute the basic hygiene agents. Motivating agents are something like getting various challenging roles and those kind of things. We are going to see the examples in subsequent slides, so I'm just giving you the overview of the organizational theories. So the first one we discuss Herzberg's theory of motivation. The second one is about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So Maslow has given a hierarchy of needs that starts with physiological, then it moves to safety, then to social. So these are our physiological needs, is basic needs like we all need food, we all need air, we all need kind of let's say shelter to live in. Safety, we need safety from where we live, from external elements, maybe environment or maybe the other elements. Then social needs, we want ourselves to be recognized, we want us to be essentially, so those kind of needs. Then comes to esteem needs, we want to, so this is not we want to, some these will be seen across human beings, there will be some very strong characteristics and these needs will come out at appropriate time, but usually this is the way when the first two are taken care of, then the third needs comes into the effect, and the fourth, esteem about you are performing high. This is about the people who perform very good, and they are not only recognized, but they have that self-esteem and confidence that reflects in self-esteem. Self-actualization, they don't depend on others to motivate. So these are guys who are self-motivated, and essentially they have reached to the level wherein they are towards self-actualization. So they want to do something which they like. They want to do something for themselves as well as essentially this is the level that 5 levels that Maslow has derived depending on hierarchy of needs. So we'll see again this Maslow's theory in subsequent slide, but this is a theory which is not at all covered in your PMBOK guide, but we are covering here because there are questions that come on this. So you don't need to be organizational behavior guru, but you need to know what are the theories, what they are trying to say, and understand the basic motivation behind the theories. So this takes us to the next slide, which is with respect to Herzberg's theory of motivation. He says there are hygiene agents, there are motivating agents, which we discussed earlier. So as I told you, there is another slide which will give you the list of hygiene agents and motivating agents. I gave you the idea. I think this is again same slide repetition. So I'm just moving on. So organization theories. First, McGregor's theory of X and theory of Y. So X theory X, these people need to be watched all the time, micromanaged, and cannot be trusted. So X people avoid work, shun responsibility, and lack the aptitude to achieve. So this was seen in mainly in industrial era, since the work was repetitive. The supervisor was needed and micromanagement was needed, cannot be trusted. So this may still be applicable at various industries at various point in time, but even in other industries also you may see these kind of workers who have this kind of attitude towards work, so that they need to be micromanaged. Especially when the trainee comes in, I think a lot of micromanagement is needed, a lot of oversight is needed. So again, in there you use theory X. Theory Y, the people are self-led, motivated, and can accomplish new tasks proactively. So these are the McGregor theory X. So he has two types of people. One who needs to be micromanaged. Second, who are self-motivated. Auchi's theory Z. Auchi is a Japanese expert. He has a theory Z in which workers are motivated by the sense of commitment, opportunity, and advancement. They learn the business by moving up through the ranks of the company. This theory also credits the idea of lifetime employment. So in Japan, you see a lot of people, they join the organization and they actually do retire from that organization. So this theory of Y, theory Z from Auchi, it talks about workers are motivated by sense of commitment, opportunity, and advancement. So that's what they seek for that company in which they this theory also credits the idea of lifetime employment. The worker will stay in the company until they retire, because they are dedicated to the company, which is in turn dedicated. So this is very positive energy generation, and essentially helps both organization as well as worker. Then expectancy theory. This theory states that people will behave based on what they expect as a result of their behavior. So based on what they will get, what's in it for me, that's the expectancy theory. McClelland's theory of needs: need of achievement, need for affiliation, need for power. So this is yes, Srinivas, you're right. These theories are not covered in PMBOK edition 5. You're right. But it is observed, that's what I was talking earlier, that it is observed that these theories are being asked in PMP examination quite frequently, and hence we are explaining it in detail. Not in detail actually, we are just touch basing the theories, what they are talking about. So there are three types of need, and as per McClelland's theory of needs: achievement, affiliation, and power.